This is a storm-damaged silver maple. It went over in a very nasty ice storm February of 2014. Absolutely no cranes were available at that time. All the crane companies were booked. It hit the house and it's right over the wires there, presenting a nice challenge for rigging. The first thing I think when I see a big root ball like this hanging in the air, I think to myself, well, if I take weight off of this tree, is it going to stand up? And a lot of times they will. It depends on how heavy the roots are, how heavy that dirt is on the backside, the angle that it's leaning. Sometimes if stuff is blocking it from coming back down at the bottom. But this looks like it came up fairly cleanly. It looks like it's pretty heavy. It looks like it's got a little bit of back lean. But it was deceptive. I actually thought that this tree was going to come up when we took the weight off, and it did not. A couple things I wanted to point out. I hope you can learn something here today, because I sure did. When I first looked at this tree, I looked at all the weight on the root ball, and I thought to myself, as soon as we take some weight off the end of this thing, she's going to stand right back up again. But it's tough to tell on video, just the grade of the ground, but we're on a fairly steep hill here, and just being on the hill was hard for me to judge exactly the angle of this root ball. Now that I look at it against a plumb line here, you can see the throw line we're using as a plumb line. Now that I look at it against that, I can see, oh, that thing's pretty straight. So there's not that much back lean to the root ball. So that's why it didn't stand up, which surprised me. So when we were cutting it, and you can see out here, there's quite a bit of debris left on the roof. We were down to our last pressure point on the roof, and the tree still hadn't moved. So at that point, what to do? Well, we possibly go get a crane. No, that wasn't really much of an option. So we used the Egyptian-style prop. We just simply cut a piece of wood that might be maybe 8 feet long. It's not a very big piece of wood. 2 guys easily can handle it. 1 guy could probably handle it. And I thought she was going to stand up, but she didn't. So this is my backup plan. What makes that so effective is the stability of the root ball. As long as that tree's well attached to the root ball, it can only come down in one path. It can't go side to side. So that prop there worked very, very well in that situation. And she didn't move one bit. She just stayed right there. That's a good plan B, and it worked out very, very well in this situation. That'll allow us to take the rest of the weight off over the top of the wires. We can even put a climber up there. It's so stable right now. The prop there, it seems like a pretty simple idea. It might seem a little redneck to many people, but it works. It's very effective as long as that root ball is stable and the tree's well attached at the base there. Don't forget to use the prop when the time is right. It's a nice trick to have in the toolbox. Here's a tree we managed to save with the use of a prop. This tree suffered a lot of heavy damage in a storm. It listed about 20 degrees, significant damage in the canopy. We managed to prune it and then build this prop out of all recycled, reused materials. Put some rubber end caps there to keep it from scratching up the trunk of the tree, and pruned it heavily again, taking quite a bit of weight off. The prop here, system here, is really just a fail-safe, so there's no way this tree can fail. Really protects me from liability as much as the customer. So Daniel Murphy, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I certainly learned something here. Hope you catch another video sometime soon.